That output. Alright. Got it. Okay. Okay. Oh, this guy. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy's like thumbnails before. It actually looks pretty cool. Okay, so you wanted. Give me a second.
On the TV.
I'm gonna react to it. My dad's like, no, we can't have TV. But, oh my god, that is a good question.
There's nothing.
Why is my Alexa offline? Move that mic over. Anyway, so that's actually a very good question. Minecraft is about 15 million blocks, 30 by 30 million blocks. I'm sorry, what the heck's going on with my Alexa?
It has no. Actually, I'm sitting where I was gonna sit.
Updating your device. I'll let you know when it's ready.
Hey, baby girl. Let me know it's ready.
Updating your device.
Times 30 million times 30 million time divided by kilometers is in Minecraft. Minecraft's world has more surface area than our own. It has more resources and everything. That's actually really interesting. I think a really good way to kind of like go through this is to look at 2B2T. It's a server that has no rules and it's a server where like there is a black market in 2B2T. There are civilizations that have fallen, that have risen. There's even entire like wars where the entire server will go into a world war basically, and it's happened 7 times. I'm not joking. Are they called incursions? Alright, let's watch this.
More powerful than you. Making your thing happen. Really going for it. Doing business on your terms.
What would happen if everyone in the world suddenly became stuck in Minecraft? All 7.8 billion people in one server. What types of societies?
Oh my god, it was made 2 years ago.
Or
There's
just
200 million people have been born now.
Or would societies somehow become more equal? Just imagine what the chat would be like. To answer these questions, we're going to be applying different sociology theories to come up with the most likely scenario of a Minecraft dystopia. Now, for this experiment, we're going to assume two.
Yeah, that's a call. I'm sorry. I like doing this. I react to content. I would not be surprised because the thing is, it's simple human like behavior. Humans will try to initialize groups, and they'll try to form what we call hierarchies. This is how kingdoms and states and entire countries have formed because of this. Simple. United States back in the 1700s said, "No, what? Screw this. We don't want Britain. We're establishing our own thing." That is an example of humans forming a hierarchy. And that's also an example of humans separating into sub-colonies and then eventually a sub-colony becoming an entire country. Other countries have had this happen, if I'm not wrong. I don't know what other countries, but that's the point. Humans will try to distinguish them. And again, what?
I can't hear the video.
I'm sorry. I was playing it. Yeah, but I will not be surprised if every gang got added into Minecraft. Like if they just got stuck, they would definitely try to rule that thing. I'm gonna assume. Hopefully, he assumes that there's no hacks. Like it's just like playing.
Everyone is in hardcore mode. Once you die, you won't.
It's gone. Yep, done.
2, the map is not infinite, just like the Earth. So what happens in the beginning? Well, when 7.8 billion people spawn in at once, you can bet there will be a stampede for resources. The psychology of the California Gold Rush tells us that the last time people discovered valuable resources in a new land, there was a lot of fighting. It will be absolute chaos as everyone is pressured to gather.
Yeah, another thing is there was this experiment that was carried out. I really wish I had participants for this experiment, but this guy had an experiment, right? God, Alex?
Yeah.
And he trapped about 20 people in this bedrock box. And he said, let the experiment begin. And it kicked off. Now, in the first day, people wanted to go get clay for bricks. And they wanted to use these bricks for their homes. However, within the first day, bricks and clay have already become scarce because people were finding them. And it got to a point where people were just doing some petty thievery and they were stealing from each other. And then they also formed into 4 factions and fought it out. So if you give humans, if you put them in a simulation where there is no rules, they will eventually start to form up factions and possibly go to war. It's simple. War is literally in human blood. Violence in itself is a thing that humans can't get rid of. It's just simple humans. For example, just look at animals in the real world. When they fight for a female, males fight for females, a lot of stuff. Just like humans fight for resources. Let's keep going.
In order to not fall behind. Entire villages will be looted, and many will die trying to take out woodland mansions, desert temples, and mine shafts. Veteran players will have an inherent advantage when it comes to knowledge of Minecraft systems, so they'll have a huge head start and be able to quickly monopolize resources in the surrounding areas.
True.
Unfortunately for some others, they'll get really unlucky and spawn right in the middle of the ocean or desert and be forced to battle others for scarce resources. But soon, the first night will set in for everyone. Next.
I would estimate maybe that I want to make an estimate, maybe like 10%, up to 30%. Actually, I actually estimate up to half the population would probably die in the first night. As you still listening with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we of course know that there's a lot of people that don't know about Minecraft, and if they don't know about the monsters, they could just come out and absolutely murk half the population, and that in and of itself will be gone. However, Bedrock players, Minecraft players like you and I, we would know of this accidental occurrence, and we would be able to prepare and fend for it. But people that don't know about the game would probably likely bite the dust.
The constant looming threat of creepers, zombies, and other deadly mobs at night, people from their respective nations would actually start to team up to fight mobs together in order to maximize their chances of survival.
Yes, and this is where factions will form.
We'll probably try to find others that speak the same language as us, so we can communicate and defend each other effectively.
I saw someone die.
Before long, large underground societies would arise, as people realize that they can take shelter in mines and mountains.
That looks cool underground.
It would serve as both their source of crucial ores and protection from the outside world. But this refuge...
Technoblade.
Since players will still need to venture out to collect food to survive. Most of the peaceful mobs will be killed during the initial spawning, so people will attempt to create a more sustainable form of living. And thus, societies will shift to become more agrarian and develop crop farming as their main source of food. Seeds and saplings can easily be planted to obtain more seeds and saplings, making the perfect self-sustaining ecosystem. To increase safety, new monster traps will be installed outside of homes to defend against specific mobs like spiders, endermen, and zombies. As food becomes more secure, communities will see distinct roles begin to form. also known as specialization. The most likely scenario is a three-way relationship. Hunters will provide safety by killing mobs and delivering resources like bone meal to farmers so they can increase their crop yields. And the farmers will in turn provide the food for the protectors and the miners. But not everyone will choose to make their living through peaceful means.
Oh yeah, but I'm
Groups
watching
of
the video
people
right now.
decide that stealing is a more efficient way
Yup.
to gather resources.
Gangs,
Form
factions.
first raiding groups and travel across the world, burning different towns to the ground. This will cause
Well, like
the
2B2T.
police to have to react.
It does not matter. In 2B2T, many attempts have been made to initialize the government, but every attempt has failed. You do not establish in a government an area with no government. The reason why it's kind of tough in this day of age is because we have something called the UN, United Nations, and if you commit human rights violations like those happening in Haiti right now, they will not take kind of that, and they will try to shut you down immediately. However, in a brand new world with no laws at all, it is very easy to get away with crimes. So therefore, because of this, people just resort to complete anarchy, which is what this is.
Their own armed guards to keep watch during the day and nighttime. A community's survival will depend on Darwin's theory of natural selection. It's survival of the fittest at this point.
It is. That's
During all
true.
this chaos, it's entirely possible that advanced civilizations will form where hardened Minecraft veterans team up and become completely stacked on resources due to their ability to use
And speedrunners would
techniques that
completely
no one else knows about,
seize the
like
games,
strip
but not.
mining and TNT mining. Also, the best PvPers would be representing these societies, so they'll be unbeatable in melee and range.
Technoblade, Dream, King Halo, Police Mike, those guys are all PvP gods at that point. They would definitely be able to... The heck? There's a villager down here.
Range combat, even if they are far outnumbered. Imagine the shock on raiders when they accidentally mess with the wrong people and see an army just speed bridging towards them at the speed of light. These veteran societies would probably have enough firepower to take on entire countries. They would undoubtedly have a big influence on neighboring factions and could grow their own community by offering protection to others. Once societies become larger, it will no longer be viable for raiders to continue their nomadic lifestyle. So they'll have to abide by the principle, if you can't beat them, then join them. But because of their past, many can...
I'm sorry for keep pausing. I like reacting. I like breaking this down. That's okay. In 2B2T, there's also been many towns that have been formed, and some towns have fallen. For example, Aureus 2, if not wrong, it was a really cool looking city, but this dude met a girl, and he gave her the coordinates, and she snitched on him, and all like 6 of his base mates got furious at him. That guy is such an idiot. He's described in a Fit MC's video. I forgot what it was, but that guy's an absolute punk, dude. Can you imagine going online with your boys, building a freaking giant base, and one of your homies finds a girl, leaks your cords, and then they just come in brief? I would have just, oh god, I would have shot my PC.
This will probably
shot my
protect them, so they'll have to figure out a
PlayStation.
new way of living. But with all the land already taken, where will they go? One answer: the sky. Raiders will
Sky
choose their way
bases.
of living by constructing massive untouchable sky bases where they can freely launch raids and use water to return to base, creating a new generation of sky raiders that strikes fear into the hearts of their enemies.
And with the cobblestone generators, you can infinitely expand. That's smart. With a cobblestone generator, you can infinitely expand.
Google Ads helps you turn curiosity into customer
And
service.
turn my sanity
What
into
your business has to
insanity.
offer. Now you can reach people based on what matters most to them at
Yeah,
just the
sure.
right moment. Google Ads. Turn curiosity into customers.
No.
Visit ads.google.com
No.
to learn more.
Conflict. Yep, here's where it gets bad. For example, you know the experiment I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Everything was going great. Everybody was trading, but eventually what happens to societies in Minecraft, if you let them go, is that there is going to be conflict. Let's say I'm in party A and you're in party B, right? At first, we're hitting it off, right? Like me and you, Alex, we're absolutely, We are on top of our game, and we need each other to survive. However, let's say we have parties and we get everything we can to survive. Like my world where I have netherite armor. The thing is that when people become independent, that's when they start seizing the opportunity to raid. After the point, people realize that that they can just play the game, or they can survive by themselves. That's when the strongest will start to survive, and then the weakest will be crushed and completely eliminated from the game. So yeah. And the thing is, humans, what they do is they take advantage of civilizations that are smaller. A bigger civilization is more likely to take a smaller one and completely consume it. For example, of course, the Spanish colonies. Or basically the Native Americans, right? They used to exist, but, our colonies, we had guns, more numbered people than them. Like, we have more people than them, we have better technology, and eventually the Native Americans were driven out. If a bigger civilization finds a smaller one, there's a big chance it'll be exploited. Which is why if aliens ever raid, they're going to say, hey, look, those are inferior people. They are probably not as smart as us. Let's raid them and loot their planet. That's why aliens coming here is not a good idea. Alright, sorry, I'm gonna go.
Historically, some of the biggest conflicts mankind has seen have been started by differences in ideology.
Yup, differences.
It's inherent to human nature to be self-interested and seek expansion. And Minecraft is no different. Land is crucial for diamonds and farming, so the more land you have, the more resources and power you have. We'll see massive sieges between different nations for control of land, with TNT cannons, armies, and even air power through the use of redstone construction.
Redstone's playing.
The rise of redstone will also create more advanced weapons that intensify these nation-to-nation conflicts. A super society of veterans would be able to take advantage of this the most, as redstone experts like Mumbo Jumbo and SethBlade would be unstoppable pioneers in this industry, spearheading innovation and putting themselves in a favorable position in negotiations. Anyone who refuses their demands could literally be wiped off the map. And since ores don't respawn, resources will become more and more limited, leading to the rise of inequality. This will create the potential for a revolution and resource wars between nations with different economic ideologies. These wars will be far more dangerous because of the redstone boom introducing new weapons of mass destruction that would
Crystal
absolutely
PvP,
raze towns and villages.
bombers,
In order
yeah.
to escape these conflicts, pacifist groups would flee to the ocean and build self-sustaining underwater societies that are impenetrable to TNT cannons.
Adventure.
Even in the face of danger, curiosity is also innate to our human nature, so there will be an inherent drive for some to explore the unknown. For those who are really adventurous, you might be trying to speedrun the game and defeat the Ender Dragon so you can flex on everyone with a dragon egg when you get back. Some Minecraft billionaire would probably pay a fortune for it.
Global order, yep.
When nations start realizing that global conflict is not the solution to world peace, they might create an organization similar to the United
NATO.
Nations and enact global initiatives like lighting up the entire world to end the mob threat once and for all, or a coalition to take out the Sky Raiders. Of course, this is assuming that advanced civilizations of veterans hadn't consolidated all the power already.
Yeah, come in.
This is where it gets even more interesting. Once this initial survival phase passes, more time will be available to focus on the quality of life, similar to the second industrial revolution in the United States. Social services like enter chests and banks would become widespread since it's the safest way to store valuables. Hospitals will be created with only splash potions of healing and milk instead of medicine. People will start going to schools that teach them how to survive in mines, craft things, make potions, and other basic systems in Minecraft. Amidst this industrial age, there will be even greater technological revolution, the redstone boom. In this era, redstone engineers will innovate like never before, designing game changers like street lamp systems and railroads, leading to a new era of
And something that I actually have in my city, lights, electrical lights.
forming between different factions.
you gotta do
Natural
that to
resources
animate
like
them.
gold, diamond, and iron will become
This is such a good mic.
currency and be considered a
Yeah, I
valuable,
watched
just like in the
yesterday.
real world. But other things like obsidian will also be considered to be extremely precious since it's immune to TNT and hard to break, making it
Unless you
the
have a
ideal
haste
building
to-
material.
Diamond pickaxe or another pickaxe.
However, this increase in trade could also be a double-edged sword, as railroads become a point of interest for sky raiders to camp by and rob traders as they're passing.
Highwaymen.
Traders will
If you know what highwaymen are, actually,
by their own community's forces in order to travel
a highwayman, that's a very old term. Back in the early days of the United States, there used to be people on highways, and they would find you and they would raid you of all your stuff and take and like rob you basically and run.
Would they slash your tires?
No, this is like in the time of like 1700s. Like this is like 90s, maybe like 1800s, very early 1800s when like horses were. Oh, there goes a sheep. That sheep is dead, like my sense of humor. But they would literally come up and rob you and just leave, or worse, they'd kill you and take all your stuff. They were literally the griefers.
and have a better chance at making a successful deal. Inside of each society, economies will be ignited by entrepreneurship, as ambitious players create businesses that sell their specialization, like gear with miners and food with farmers. Some might even embark on dangerous nether expeditions to establish a business selling exclusive resources from the nether. The first person to successfully do so will have a straight-up monopoly
The
on
people
things
that built the farms.
invisibility potions, netherrack, and strength potions, which could actually shift the result of entire wars. For context, Strength 2 potions can increase your damage by over 260%.
Oh my god.
With an entire army with that status effect, you'll be unstoppable.
Done.
Also, with invisibility potions, you can literally sneak behind enemy lines and plant ambushes. But in the beginning, these invisibility potions specifically would pose a unique threat to towns, since they can be used for theft or even assassinations. So they might be straight up banned in many places.
And Fit MC, the guy that does 2B2T, Alex, he was attending a meeting and he got assassinated while he did it. He and like 5 other people got assassinated because what they do is they pose as normal people, or they drink invisibility potion and they take a crystal, and a crystal's powerful enough to kill you in full netherite, maxed out enchantments. It will mess you up too. It's evil. It's actually pretty insane how bad netherite or how bad ender crystals are. In fact, I've actually on my server, I have banned them for people using them because they're dangerous. Also, that's like my international law. Like, I'm making an entire civilization law. Another law is that you can't own harming arrows because I'll explain that later, but yeah.
Like, you first person to successfully do so. Well, for context, Strength 2 potions can
You
increase
saw that?
literally sneak behind enemy lines and plant ambushes. But in the beginning, these invisibility potions specifically would pose a unique threat to towns, since they can be used for theft or even assassinations. So they might be straight up banned in many places. This could open up the possibility of a black market that gets started, where people will buy invisibility potions for their own use from underground sellers. Societies will continue to develop with new innovations, and soon, a couple societies will rise to the top. These will most likely be the Nether Expedition Societies, Redstone Engineers, and the Adept Veteran Civilization. Each nation has a unique advantage against the other, with Nether Expedition Societies having the power of potions, Redstone Engineers with redstone contraptions, and Veterans with a little bit of everything. This will most likely become a 3-way alliance known as the NRA, standing for Nobody Really Asked.
And dude, that actually sounds like
There's a bunch of parts.
what did you just do? You fine, man?
Yeah, I'm fine.
May I see my temple raise? I'm right over here. This is just like, this was here. I have a $1 coin.
What type?
I'm trying to think.
Where is it?
It's at my house. Oh,
No, show me.
there. It's supposed to be a 200 by 200, but I messed up on the counting and kind of got it.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
But
Anyway,
and then I stared it, slapped it.
That's cool. You know what I do? I take a center block and I build out measurements.
Yeah. And then this is supposed to be Dan TDM's original lab thing.
There's tutorials online you can actually use.
And then it would lead into the... What are you doing in Leroy?
Leroy?
Where were you earlier today?
I'm not in Leroy.
No one said you were in Leroy.
What? No.
Where were you? Oh, you also got new headphones too.
Where is that? That can't be close.
What?
Oh, that's a place.
Find great prices on home essentials. Now
Wait, what?
Okay,
Mojang
so
said.
I'm in absolute mental shambles right now trying to deal with this issue, but I think I need to address it because it's just become a lot bigger than I could ever imagine, and it's a lot bigger than me. I've just been receiving
That's what she
copious
said.
amounts of messages from so many different people regarding this issue. I'm in a game called Cops and Crims on Hypixel. Really relevant terms that you can see right now. What I'm going to do here is load a resource pack that I'm being prompted to download, so we'll just wait for that to load. If you'd like a lot more information about how I feel about this and what's going on with Minecraft right now, you can click on the Twitch VOD in the description, but I will go through as much as I can here, because I've had a bit of time to think about it. This game is Cops and Crims on Hypixel, and it is most likely going to disappear. I can almost guarantee that this game will either change drastically or be banned. And the reason is this. I'm going to right-click this game. It is called Gun Game. It is the game that I played on stream. And he is holding a pistol. This is a rifle. Mojang is set to release and enforce a new directive to ban guns and weapons
Oh my
that
God.
are non-compliant with their adult content requirement for commercial service. This could be to protect their brand. This could be to eliminate any commercial exploitation of the game. Adult content now includes guns and firearms, and if no action is taken in 7 days, they will get banned. I'm going to demonstrate to you the content
That's
that I feel
stupid.
will be removed.
I'm tired of these games banning guns. Like there's let's call it got to a point where for 5. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Let's see, 3. Like, let's call it, Looney Tunes actually doesn't make new animations anymore that has guns because of this just sucks, dude. It just kind of enforcing a stigma against gun users, and I'm sick of it.
Have you heard about the Looney Tune Baby beer one?
What?
Yeah, the Looney Tune Baby show, whatever. Like where the Looney Tunes are babies. There was an episode of them like saying not to drink alcohol before 21. And Bugs found a beer bottle in the...
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, Minecraft's got guns in it? Bruh, yeah, I don't wanna play Minecraft anymore, bruh.
And it's just a mod, too, or it's Hypixel.
But Minecraft tries to remove guns. Also, Minecraft has suicide bombers. Bruh. Like, they think, oh my god, kids, they're gonna be exposed to guns. Oh my god. Have you played Roblox? Have you played, Fortnite?
Call of Duty?
Like, okay, if you're a kid, every kid, probably, like, I'd recommend at least half kids in this world have played Fortnite at one point or another. It's like puberty. It's gonna happen eventually. You're gonna play Fortnite if you haven't done it already. If you haven't done it already, just stay away. Don't touch it.
It's all collabs and it sucks.
It's bad. Just don't. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but if you want to play the game, I ain't stopping you.
But if you do, don't get the women skins.
Or don't get not I should say I wouldn't say about don't get the thick skins, the sus skins.
They had Among Us collab.
Oh my god, level 1 calamity skin. Yeah, those types of skins. Anyway, I'm sick and tired of companies and stuff trying to get rid of guns. Like, dude. Yeah, guns. Yeah, they're bad. Yeah, but Minecraft literally allows you to like go suicide bombing. It allows you to literally
Jump off.
well, kind of suicide, but like you can just go down and place a TNT. You could go bomb people.
And then there's like what's it called? Like, and then they're saying like you couldn't get the Chris Spector.
Mhm.
If anything, they should have like they should ask the reason why you want a gun, and so like have.
I don't know if that would be a good idea because I could say, hey, I could be like a mass murderer and say, hey, I want this gun.
Well, yes, but like they should like instead of making it illegal, they should have a way that I guess.
Like, I have a FOID card. Ah, yes, because if a 18-year-old boy picks up a Chris Vector, he's gonna go and just absolutely shoot up an entire spot. No, YouTube, don't be that. No, bad. Don't be bad. You got it? That's not a threat. That's a statement. I'm trying to make a statement. Like, bruh, I just want to shoot guns. I love guns. Hey, go.
You can see I've got a 50.
Oh! I can't look. He's got a sniper rifle in Minecraft. Oh god. Guys, I have to end the stream. Oh god. I'm just kidding. Oh my god, I can't. He showed a gun in a video game. I need therapy now. Okay, can you guys be my therapist now? I need therapy. I think I'm gonna be mentally scarred. I might vomit. Oh god, I saw the gun again.
You know those guys who
now, like,
do interesting things on Omegle? Do you know what I'm talking about, Grace?
Yeah.
They have happy times.
What is that?
I interviewed one of them and asked how often does it actually pay off. He said the most he spent is 18 hours
on Omegle in a row.
Looking for
No.
looking for candy.
No. Not on my stream, please. Anywhere else. I made a promise back in May. Hey, God, finally. 19 days until that strike is off. Oh my god, that stupid strike.
It has been upgraded to a Desert Eagle, which is again a very real gun.
Whoa, a Desert Eagle!
Definitely something that they feel is no longer appropriate to the game. Alright, so I'm clearly not paying really close attention.
Minecraft, are they trying to act like, oh my god, Minecraft, like, how our kids are gonna look at it? Bruh.
Wait, they say no guns. But
they're afraid that kids are gonna see this and be like, oh my god, but to be 2T. I'm not even gonna mention what people say on that. If you wanna see the most racist, bigoted, most evil chat, like actual evil chat, go to 2B2T and have a cup of tea and look at the chat. That will break you, dude. That's like the gulag, my guy. I have never experienced it, but I don't want to. I don't want to experience 2B2T chat.
And they say don't go on it because they say no guns when they have bows that are pretty much guns manually.
Minecraft. You have... How about you spend your resources, I don't know, making the update for the game? Or, I don't know, God, add weather, please. Add severe weather. The weather system was added 11 years ago. Bruh, literally, the weather system was added like literally a year after Y-Bug's birth. That's old.
That or what's
for a video game feature. That's old. And the weather has barely been changed.
That or the end.
Oh my god, yeah. Look at Luke the Noble loved the caves. He loved the Nether. He said he would never play the end again. Like he would never only play through the end again after he did that interview. And that tells you much. The end is the reason I don't like going to the end. Right now, I could gather a war party in my game, or I can even go solo, and I could destroy the Ender Dragon with a swift command. Not like a command of the game, but I can command either my officer or I can command myself to go and absolutely, you know, destroy the Ender Dragon. But it's not fun. But the end is not fun. It's boring. Yes, they added, I will say I liked how they added the End Islands, but it's boring. I don't want to go there. The Nether, I could live there. The End, you can live there too, but it's awful. Oh, you want to build a base at the End? I'm sorry, but you kind of have to risk the Ender Dragon destroying all your stuff unless it's made of obsidian. That's right. If you
Who
make
wants to live on the End Islands?
Yeah, I'm making fun.
I don't know how I'm first, but I am first. This is exactly the type of content that they will no longer accept or tolerate. What I'm going to do now is disconnect and then disable the resource pack. Same game, but instead of a gun, it is a golden pickaxe. So the philosophical exercise here is, what exactly is a gun? Literally no gun-related noises, doesn't look like a gun, doesn't play like a gun. So clearly this feels so much more tame, so much more archaic, so much more like a Minecraft game. The issue, of course, is that there's no appeal to this. Now last night I was invited by Kian to try their MC War server. A lot of guns, and there's no way that they can transform this server into something that is more friendly. Because the whole appeal to the game is that it plays like this. It seems to me, and this is way above me, once again, it's pretty clear to me that they don't want this in any sort of commercial realization.
You know what's a good idea? You know what's a good... Oh my god, they got the AE-12 in that game? It's actually pretty cool. You know what's a really good idea, Mojang? What if you try to cut your community up into pieces and then take them out? That's a good way to make the community. Oh, hey guys, put resources in the development? No. Put resources into like changing a feature in the game that's outdated? No. Try to remove something innocent from a game because of, you know, guns? Oh, let's go for that one. Hey, Tommy, double down on this. We need to get all of our money in the... Brother. Stupid stigma against gun users. Yeah, guys, because I'm sorry if I get like off on a fiery note, but guns don't kill people. It's people. It's just... If guns kill people, then why hasn't my MMP 1522 pistol got up on its legs and shot me yet? You know, the gun I've owned for years. Well, hey, you know what's weird, Alex and Wyatt? You're not gonna believe this, but guns can't sprout legs and walk up to someone and shoot them. I know it's...
Have you heard about the dog shooting?
Dude, stop the cap.
I know it sounds weird to you. I know you may not be able to accept that for your very self, but yeah, I know.
So my 22 instead of shooting.
Nope, it's not gonna walk up on legs, you know, autonomously and just shoot someone.
So Biden was wrong.
This just in, every sandbag has been declared a national enemy of the state. We are coming in on NBC Live here. Yes, Michael Cox over here, and today we're going to be showing the U.S. military mobilizing Apache attack helicopters armed with Hellfire missiles to dispatch of every single sandbag in the country. This is a result of Biden slipping on a sandbag just this last Saturday, whatever it's called. Dude, I need to. I'm sorry if I'm going too far, but I need to get that clip and edit the pizza here meme. I gotta do it. I'm not gonna post it, but I just gotta make the private video. That's hilarious.
And that's been hit is GTM, Grand Theft Minecart, and they will not forfeit without a fight. You can see the directive now requires that they change the names, they change the appearances, so they don't associate the game with real-life firearms. One such example is Fantasy Blasters. This is almost on the same level as the chat reporting controversy, and this is flimsier to me too, because Java Edition Minecraft is just so open and flexible. You can just download a resource pack that is client-side, private, and undetectable. No one will be the wiser. I hate to see the creative integrity of this game stifled, but if Mojang don't want guns in their game, they are well within their legal rights to remove them. And as someone who
And they are, but it's just dumb.
That is especially devastating of whether violence and video games are correlated, and as such there's really no right or wrong answer. During the stream I also raised some concerns about things like gunpowder, TNT,
Crossbows and swords.
and diamond swords. And there's also reference to an advancement of sniper duels.
Oh my god.
This holds any weight though, because once again, Minecraft is a heavily stylized game. Things like that will just fall under fantasy violence. Yes, I transformed the crossbows to a rocket launcher. This is very much a specific issue to Minecraft. I think this is related to the protection of the Minecraft brand and the insistence that it is child friendly. But if
Bruh,
that is the case,
gun mods have literally
Minecraft
existed ever since Minecraft itself. There's some of the most sought after mods in the entire community. To remove the, like, dude, and plus, well, Minecraft, I think it'd be better with guns, honestly. I mean, like, if they added guns in the game, it'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird because, you know, it's all fantasy, like, kind of like old medieval type stuff, but with easily you can kind of... Actually, Minecraft is kind of its own style. You can make medieval stuff, you can make modern stuff, it depends on...
Future.
Yeah, you can make futuristic stuff, yeah, you can do all types of stuff. But it depends on whoever is, you know, playing. Yeah. The sad reality of school cafeteria. For us, I have eaten school lunch probably less than 15 times. My last purchase of school lunch.
You have to purchase it?
Yeah, you had to buy it. Then you had your parents buy it on the card, and then or your account, and then you'd have the money removed from the account. I was so stupid back then when I thought that when they gave you change, you were getting money. I like that's what I thought. I was stupid because I didn't adopt that mentality. Check this out, Alex.
Ever since COVID.
Alex, check this out. Look at the command I'm using. Ready?
Oh, the wood goes.
Oh yeah.
You ready for this?
Ever since I went into...
Hold on, watch it, Ann. Look.
Ever
You
since
ready?
COVID.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, and boop.
Right, so ever since I was in, after COVID, we would get free lunches, but they were the worst kind.
Dude, it's a...
The only thing we had to
Does
pay...
COVID cause
Oh, God.
The only thing extra we would have would
Hold on,
be...
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Want to hear a life hack? Type this command into your chat, Alex, if you're dropping so many items. And... Boom.
What about all the villagers?
It kills every item dropped on the ground. So
Item.
if there's a stick dropped on the ground, it'll kill it.
The only thing you would have to pay for in public school lunch would be like...
Ready, Alex?
That zombie has a bow.
There's no zombies.
No, on my screen.
Oh, Skeleton probably dropped it, and then you have it out like normal, and it probably picked it up and used it.
Wait, you can actually shoot it?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna...
You can bet how your favorite players will do. With a keister like that, he should be backing guys down.
Congratulations, you're advertising gambling to me. I'm not even 18.
First bet to get up to 2,500 back if you don't win. FanDuel, official partner.
Must be 21 or present in Illinois. Yeah.
Students across the country are posting images of what's on the menu at their schools and a new phenomenon called lunch shaving.
Cafeteria food has always been the butt of jokes, but this isn't funny.
Oh, God.
What?
Students discuss
Shaving.
cafeteria food has always been the butt of jokes, but
Dude, this kid got chicken, and he described it as soggy. If you think it should be a grade A felony to put soggy and chicken in the same sentence and describe it as good.
Yeah.
They didn't even cook this chicken, I think.
They probably bought it.
You do not serve soggy chicken. If it's one thing that'll F you up, raw, it's chicken and fish.
Ew.
You don't eat chicken raw. It will give you food poisoning. And trust me, I've had food poisoning before.
What's it
Like, food poisoning is so painful, you'd rather kill yourself. Basically, your stomach hurts, but it feels like somebody's taking a knife and like moving it and gashing your intestines.
Ew.
And then you have the worst time in the lavatory, I'll say that, the lavatory. And it sucks. That's the only reason why oh my god, you smell chlorine. Sorry.
I was at the pool.
No, you're probably at Bryce's house.
No, yes, but I was also at the pool in
I wonder how much chlorine they use in their water. Yeah.
Is
Pink slime!
Look at what they're giving us at lunch.
Students disgusted by what they're being served are taking their beef online. Can you tell with this?
Okay, so fun fact. Oh god, I took a tour to the Woodford County Prison. And you wanna know what's actually scary? The food looks the exact same as it does in my school.
So none of that slop stuff?
No. Oh, by the way, if you ever go to jail, you better not make somebody mad, because you know what happens?
Food fight.
No, not just that, no, worse. If the cooks sometimes will have prisoners come in and help them, if you make someone mad, you know what happens?
In the face?
Yeah, in your food. They'll spit in your food, they'll serve it, and you'll eat someone else's spit, and you won't even notice it.
Apparently, it's supposed to be a chicken cheesesteak sandwich.
What? I thought that was banana!
The main meal. It looks like puke and orange sauce.
Phoebe cut into her food, and it was all pink, so
Oh! I actually can't look at that.
okay, when I finally looked.
That's rarely, it's rare how I actually have to, I don't even, like, look away. When you make me look away, you've done a whole new dirty. If you don't know, and if you are cooking, you need to know this. I don't care who you are. I don't care why you are. You need to know this.
Cook.
Like, if you are a cook and you don't know this, don't serve raw chicken. It is extremely dangerous to do this. Raw chicken is one of the worst things to serve because it messes you up. And it can hospitalize people that are allergic to like high allergies. There is more of a standard on cooking chicken and pork. I got pork, like pork liquid. Ugh.
Ew.
Oh, I almost threw up at my work. Oh my god, it was disgusting. I talked to the worker's son. Their entire family doesn't eat bacon. And the funny thing is that bacon is their like best thing that they sell probably. We're noble for our bacon. And they don't eat bacon. Whatever, it's fine. Keep going.
Have like pink lines running through it.
Ew!
Bright pink. The orange.
Okay.
Oh, what kind of orange is that?
Okay, I actually almost had pink chicken served me wrong. And if you know the restaurant, no, I'm not gonna tell it on stream because that's how you get doxxed. But when they do private meals, they do it a little bit faster. I can tell. And it was an actual accident. Like, it was a very isolated accident. Of the hundreds of times I've eaten chicken here, this is only one time. Is that it was a little bit pink, and I reported it, and I had it remade. I'm like, listen, buddy, I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to be mean. But, you know, this is raw. I don't need raw chicken. This is pink, and I'm not eating this.
Cut into
If you ever see pink chicken, don't eat it.
Probably
Report it to your chef, and if they're ignorant about it, report it to your local health, and they'll get shut down.
It was horrible. I was eating the chips, and then I look in the bag, and there's like this fried little black thing in there. I don't know what it was. It was really gross. Like, I just stopped eating after that.
Ew.
What the hell?
Like the cool automatic thing, but ew.
Teamwork lights you up.
I hate
With
beans, so I
Asana,
never eat
many
beans.
hands coordinate across
I-
many different types of teams, keeping tiny tasks and big light bulb moments on track and on time, so your team can light up the world.
Lights.
Try Asana.
We didn't expect to see you.
Well, I heard you were looking for a representative.
So let's see. So this goes 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2.
Let's see how it goes.
Good world.
A little nervous.
Sometimes.
Okay. I'm sorry if I keep pausing the video. I like to react. This is my thing. Okay, hopefully I'm politically right. If I'm not, don't ratio me in the comments. Just correct me. I'm not wrong. During the Obama administration, they actually noticed that a lot of kids were obese. And what?
I was gonna say what's obese, but
obesity basically means that you have way too much fat.
Yeah.
And fat can be a great thing or a good thing. If you're too skinny, that's a problem. If you're too fat, that's a problem. And the thing is that here's how the body works. Fat is absolutely essential. We cannot exist without it. When you eat food, you're going to have a little bit of extra energy left over, right? So the body stores it as fat, and when it needs to use energy, it consumes the fat. This is why when you exercise, your fat burns up. Now, if you're like me, right, and you sit around, unless you have high metabolism like me, if you sit around and you don't do anything, the fat will build up and you will get, fat. You'll get fat. Now, I'm vastly simplifying this, but, you know, well, if you know, I think we can all agree American children are not the healthiest people in the entire world. So, the problem is, basically, children in the United States are kind of chubby. And they said, hey, this is a problem. We need to actually fix this, like, now. And one of the things they did was they removed unhealthy foods. Like, back then, my mom told me they used to serve, like, fries. They'd serve chicken nuggets and ketchup with that. And sodas. Now,
it's just
milk. I mean, milk is good. But I can't drink milk with dinner or lunch. I can't.
It's okay. Other times, I just don't know what I'm eating.
Be in school for like till 4 o'clock.
I ate the fries at my hot school. Another thing is, sorry if I keep pausing it, but if you don't know my school, we have a thing called hot and cold lunch. Hot lunch is basically when you get food from the school, and cold lunch is when you got food from your home. I have ordered only 5 to 15 hot lunches, I can estimate. And it's not, I don't even think it's my food ladies that are the problem. It's literally the food that they have to cook. It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
It's probably the companies that give it to them.
It's Gordon Food Service, which
I had Gordon Food Service.
The fact that they call themselves Gordon is just a shame.
Like, you didn't know when you're Gordon Ramsay if you're
Gordon Ramsay would get so mad at the food they serve at schools. He would literally take like an entire 5-gallon like canister of diesel, pour it across every kitchen, and light it.
Yeah,
like Gordon Ramsay would literally want to like basically just die.
I remember going to the back of the school with like a after school thing, and I remember seeing the Gordon car.
Yeah, I see the Gordon food truck that kind of arrives.
I was like, what?
I don't really want to blame the food ladies because I know that they can only help so much, but I think it's primarily Gordon Food Service. I kind of point the finger towards them.
So people be hungry. So I'm getting online, got my food, and it was on this tortilla bed. Now I didn't know what it was. So that's the worst kind of food when you don't know what it is. It doesn't even look good. Couldn't eat it. My conscience won't let.
There are 17 million American children that could literally go hungry every day that they're not in school because the only access they get to food at all is school.
And that's a problem. I'm not saying we need to take away their food. I'm saying that at least stop putting like slop and garbage on our freaking plates. We're not prisoners.
Between the ages of 2 and 15,
fatty streaks in their arteries, and this is literally the beginning stages of heart disease.
And if they're eating junk food in schools, then the schools are telling them that that's okay, it's appropriate, it's what happens.
Or you could,
That's not right.
for example,
That's why they sell the extra like candy stuff. At least at my school, or what was my school.
I get how this can come apart, like how this can like, you know, occur. But when my dad, you know, he taught me how to use guns, he didn't just give me a gun, let go, and he says, you know, listen, Race, this is a targeting tool. You can shoot your metal at the end of the planks. However, this tool can be used to end a life, and you have great responsibility when you use said tool. So instead, what you could be doing is telling kids, hey, you can have this, but it's gonna mess you up later on. And I get, like, kids don't listen. But instead of, like, destroying, I think, you know what, maybe if this school, like, put this food, if it was an elementary school, I think that'd be good. Because kids, for example, when I grew up, I wanted to be a farmer, and then I wanted to be like an engineer, then an electrician, and a maintenance officer, and now a coder. Like, that's how many times I've swapped jobs. Kids take a while to kind of make a decision. But in high school, I think we know that, you know, eating McDonald's 5 times a day isn't really the best for you.
Obesity.
Like, I think if people in middle school, like late middle school and all of high school, kind of comprehend the risks of obesity. So I think that's why they should at least bring it back. I think if they did that, like if they made it like $5 a meal, I would slap, dude. Like that could mean that the schools could make more money, and like that's actually a really good idea. They need to add back this food, that way the schools can make more money and they can use it for upgrading infrastructure, including brand new classes, you know, fixing, repairing, maintenance. I mean, schools have so stupid funding. Like, even some of the food prices, that can be used to pay the teachers. I mean, teachers don't get paid enough already. They only...
And they have to spend money for the classroom and stuff.
I think teachers should get paid 100% more, bro. Because... What sounds better? Would you rather go to a... And this is not an insult to teachers, but... Would you rather go to a school for like up to 8 years, be a teacher, and get paid $50,000 a year, or go to school for 4 years, and maybe a few after that, and make $90,000 starting? Some special ed people, they make like 70 grand. When I walk out of college, I can be making up to 90,000 bare bones minimum. That's not fair. How can I take less school than a teacher and get more money? That's kind of bogus. And that's why I respect teachers. They don't go to school to make more money. But hey, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm going to watch the video.
Officials in the Department of Education and the Office of School Food tell us that they have to keep their numbers up for the lunches, that they're in the business of serving lunch. And they want to give the children what they want.
Schools typically have no idea where most of the food that they're serving children comes from.
Yes. American school lunches. While countries like France are feeding their kids stuff like this.
Scallops with a curry sauce.
Curry sauce avec de la crème fraîche.
Wow, jelly.
That's
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
And this was just...
Where's Gordon Ramsay at?
It's a 4-course meal. Kids will start off with some...
Oh my god!
Like veal with prunes.
Okay, so half the yearly GDP of France goes towards their kids' food. Okay, that's cool.
Mushrooms, organic.
Mushrooms?
And spinach and rice, also organic. Then they'll have some cheese because this is France after all. And for dessert, an organic banana.
Over here in America, we have fond memories of soggy rectangular pizza. Chocolate milk in a plastic bag. Smiley French fries dipped in seed oil-filled ketchup. Nachos drenched in that signature cheese-like substance.
Wait, I never knew they put
rich
chocolate
kid,
milk in
maybe you can even
bags.
afford the coveted Domino's pizza slice.
Domino's pizza. I like Domino's.
Bruh, straight up went to eating chicken, and then I went to eating, what's it called? I found out that basically, if you spend $8 at Texas Roadhouse, you can get 24 rolls. Or my mom, she gets $4 for 12 rolls. Now, I eat about 3 a day, so that's only... I know it's weird. Yes, I only ate bread rolls because I hated school lunch so bad that I don't care. I ate a loaf of bread, okay? I was like the skinny kid at my school. But I would spend $15 a week, yes, on average $15 a week without the soda to eat bread rolls. I got so sick of what I was getting food, even the cold lunches. Here's the thing. At high school, the only way to heat up your lunch is a microwave. Luckily, I have to say, I'm not going to say the name of the teacher, but this teacher was special and they let me use their microwave. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. You were like the best teacher of my freaking life. My God. I hope you actually get a freaking bonus. If you know who you are, you know who you are. But, like, you'd have to wait for a freaking line. And, bro, by the time that line was halfway done, it was probably completely done with lunch. Maybe I'm exaggerating, yeah.
And that's why the kids run down the hallway.
I stopped going to the lunchroom after COVID. After I got home, in my second year of high school, it was a lot. We had to wear masks. Oh my God, that's a crap show in and of itself. But my teacher let me sit up in their classroom, and they would cook food so I can social distance. But then it kind of got to a point where I stayed in their classroom every single time I ate lunch. Yeah.
Amazing. When you see what's in the cafeterias now, you can't blame the lunch workers. They don't have anything but an Alto-Shaam to, heat food up to a safe temperature, and it's barely food at that.
You got sloppy chicken, barbecue sauce with pork. Whatever happened to cooks actually cooking?
It's easy to come in here. This is the best tool we got right here. Box open.
That's your chef's tool.
That's it. Open up a box. Sir, give it to me.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay should have a new show of
anti-frozen
6 out of 36 meals. But why? Why is American school lunch this disgusting?
Schools tell us that they're seeing a 50%
Mm.
increase in the amount of lunchroom trash.
Kids are now throwing away twice as much food as last year.
No wonder we're gonna die.
We visited a school in suburban Chicago just this month where middle schoolers analyzed their lunch waste and were shocked to find 46 boxes of unopened pears.
Oh my God.
Totally unopened.
Who likes pears? Or that are just normal.
I saw one Reddit video where this girl brought a knife to school, like a butter knife. Here, I'll show you what. Give me a second, stream. I'll go get one. I'll go get you a butter knife.
I'm gonna be offended.
Okay, where's the butter knife? One right here. Here's what a butter knife looks like. Oh no, it's a dangerous knife. This is a butter knife. Look, I'm slitting it across my finger. No blood. And you could probably cut somebody. Could you maybe murder somebody with this thing? Yeah, probably in their sleep. Because apparently, if I'm not wrong, pears are notoriously hard.
Like,
No, don't. You dare.
I don't like the ones that are just...
Yes?
possible food on this planet.
One of the things that we're surprised by was a particular kind of chicken. This is meat from egg-laying birds that have been retired, that are no longer producing eggs, and nobody really uses them much on the commercial.
What?
Kentucky Fried Chicken to McDonald's declines to buy this stuff. It is, in some cases, commonly sold to the pet food industry. The school lunch program bought a lot of it, tried using it in patties, using it in salads.
Oh my god. Nope, I'm turned off by that.
History in America. And to answer that question, we need to take a trip back to World War II.
This could be the first generation of children in the United States that lives less than its parents.
Nobody is safe from the dangers of the child obesity epidemic.
Dun dun dun.
Food is the ultimate life hack. But a close runner-up is Grammarly Go. Grammarly Go is a product.
Nope.
1945. America had just won World War II, but America was about to enter another war.
America. Okay, no mass shootings. No, don't you start talking about Japan, or Runit Dome, or Hiroshima, or Agent Orange. No, don't talk about that. We don't know. No. America, don't commit atrocities. America. Hey, hippity hoppity, there's Agent Orange on your property. Hippity hoppity, we're dropping a nuke on your property. Hippity hoppity. Oh, wait. Or the time another time they made these soldiers clean up the Runit Dome nuclear crater and didn't even give them any protective gear. So now lots of the people that did clean up Runit are suffering from cancer and leukemia and all other crap conditions. Yeah, that sucks.
Cold War.
The Cold War again?
What?
What's the Cold War again?
The Cold War was a very long period. It lasted from 1947 to 1991. Basically what happened was that there's a thing called the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was Russia, Ukraine, and tons of other countries.
Was that after Hitler?
Yeah, Hitler died in 45. So then the Soviet Union, which they have a thing, they're not communists, they're socialists. And the United States were capitalists. Now, if you know anything about those two, capitalists and socialists don't get along. They're different ideologies. And when people have different ideologies, they fight and argue. And that's the problem about the Soviet Union. Is that capitalists don't like socialists and socialists don't like capitalists. So therefore, people would fight and fight and fight over. Now, the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union did not like each other. But, they were trying to, compete to build better technology. But there was barely any other war between them. Another thing is, the USSR was going into countries like China, Vietnam, and Korea to turn them into communist nations. That's actually why North Korea and China are communist to this day. It's because the Soviet Union, imagine it's like this salesman that says, hey, look at this awesome government. We can make you thrive. Socialism. But it actually kind of messed them up. So then, when they tried to they wanted Korea to be communist, but no, the United States did not like that. So therefore, there was a Korean War, which in the 1950s, and that was the fight over the 38th parallel, which is a line, the horizontal lines on a grid map. That's what the 38th parallel was. But then it was finally settled that North Korea would be north of the 38th parallel, and then South Korea would be south of that line. So yeah, the Cold War, it's way too complex to talk about within just a sitting. It's everybody's parents, or most people's parents I should say, lived through the Cold War. And it was terrifying because at any moment in that time, school drills had duck and cover, which means that if the enemy dropped a nuke, you had to be ready to duck and cover at a minute's notice. That's the old.
Didn't have a chance of winning. The U.S. military knew they would need the strongest, toughest men available. But surprisingly, they couldn't really find any. See, before World War II, the US just came out of a devastating depression. You know,
Great Depression.
after eating a solid diet of water pies, peanut loaves, and canned prunes for 10 years, the men of America were looking not so hot. So General Lewis B. Hershey, a former school principal who joined the armed forces before World War I, went in front of the House Agriculture Committee to deliver a stern warning. General Hershey was head of the military draft system, and he warned that 40% of military recruits were failing their physical exams due to malnutrition. And with impending war on the horizon with the Soviet Union, if the government didn't do something about this fast, the US might never stand a chance. So, the government came to the rescue, and they launched an emergency nationwide feeding program called the National School Lunch Act. In their eyes, the National School Lunch Act was a matter of national security to safeguard the health and well-being of the nation's children. And it would ensure that the government had more effective pawns that could be used in the war machine. See, everybody wins. So the government started sending food to schools all over the U.S. And where did they get this food?
Maybe it wasn't the
Surpluses.
Michelle.
Whatever farmers had too much of, they would ship it to
I think maybe they made it
There
worse.
was no need for a balanced diet. This was wartime. It was all about using what the nation had, maximizing calories and breeding good little soldiers. And guess what? The program actually worked. The children got stronger. And America became one of the biggest military superpowers in the world. And as the decades went on, the National School Lunch Program would just keep getting bigger and bigger. And soon, what started as a way to groom nourished soldiers of war turned into a political tool.
There are more children in this country that can't afford lunch. Street school lunches are a basic human right. Vote for me and I'll give it to them.
Well, they did. By 1969, 15% of American children were getting a school lunch for free or at a highly discounted price. And in the mid-1970s, Richard Nixon poured even more money into the school lunch program. So now,
Nixon was one of the worst presidents ever.
parents were used to their kids getting fed at school. Parents now expected schools to keep feeding their children no matter
I'm not
what.
saying that
And those
them
same
feeding
schools were now
like the hungry is a bad
dependent
thing.
on the government
Let's take it out of
to keep
context.
sending them money for lunches. There
Just
was
saying
no
the thing
going
that
back.
they made money on is now nonetheless.
Funding cut for the National School Lunch Program in 1981, American public schools were left in a bit of a pickle.
Oops. I can't drink alcohol. Ripple effect.
The fact is, we'll never build a lasting economic recovery by going deeper into debt at a faster rate than we ever have before.
Well, you could have said that in the first time.
Ronald Reagan cut funding for the National School Lunch Program by around 25%, which was a massive number. Now, schools couldn't afford to feed 1 out of every 4 students. So the ripple effects were massive. Schools were left with less money to spend on food, wages, and equipment, while still having to feed the same number of mouths. So schools either had to find a way to reduce costs fast, or they would have to shrink.
And there's where it all goes a plan. Simple little lesson for you guys. Basically, this problem comes up a lot. It says, uh-oh, we're spending money on other things, but this is important. So, you have 2 choices. Cut it or make it cheaper. And I think we all know what happened there.
Or famously declare that ketchup was a vegetable in order to meet nutrition
It's a
standards,
fruit.
as recommended by the government. But as they say, massive problems offer
Don't trust the
massive
feds.
opportunities
It's not
to make
not a vegetable.
And as a big food conglomerate, this was your perfect opportunity to swoop in to
Lobbying.
save America's youth.
Big food. Here comes corporate conglomerate.
You obviously want to make as much money as you possibly can. But the problem is, every adult in America already knows about your products. They already know about your lunch meats and junk food. There's no more money to be made in that demographic. So you have to target the next generation, the kids. And this giant school lunch budget crisis was your perfect way in.
Then when you
Lobbying.
we have about $1.50 to spend on actual food.
That's it. That's it. Is that enough?
I think it's very, very difficult.
So here's what you did. You formed special exclusivity deals with American schools to get your junk food onto their lunch tables. And for every can of soda or bag of chips sold by the schools to those unsuspecting youngsters, the school got a generous cut. This
Yeah, there it is. Money.
This helped alleviate the school's funding problem, but it also incentivized schools to peddle your product.
Another thing was another controversial move by the government was actually the interstate system. The thing is, a lot of African Americans or black households were demolished during the construction of the interstate systems because back then, we all know there was, the interstate was built in the 1950s. That's when the civil rights was occurring.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there was discrimination amongst black households because they were not seen as equal. So therefore, their houses were completely destroyed sometimes to build interstates. Another reason that they want to build interstates is that the federal government would pay the states to actually build miles. Like, if you built a mile of interstate, you could probably have enough money to build 8 more miles. So therefore, that's infinite money. So they kept making interstates, and there we go. Today, we have it.
But it wasn't just soda and junk food companies that benefited. If you were a bulk food manufacturer like US Foods, Tyson, and Cisco during this time, you were also in luck. Because without government funding, schools no longer had the money to train actual chefs. So what other choice did these schools have but to buy frozen, highly processed, factory-made food from you? So now, big food companies like
how do they even
Cisco
make
that
this factory food is my question.
and prisons were now also nourishing America's youth. Hospital and prison food. That sounds tasty. Trained cooks were replaced by the iconic minimum wage lunch ladies.
It's easy to come in here. This is the best tool we got right here. Box opener.
That's your chef's tool, the box cutter.
That's it. Open up a box. Serve. Give it to me.
Yeah. And from that moment forward, school lunches just slowly kept degrading into the sad, processed, chemical-filled state that it's in today. But not to worry, because all this garbage food technically still meets USDA standards.
Casey is an expert in many things. Painting is not one of them. But
yeah, that's Cafeteria Wars.
As a big food conglomerate, if you really want your ultra-processed pizza or lunch meat or chips to be served in cafeterias across the nation, you need to play by the government's rules.
Yeah.
Specifically, the rules set up by the USDA. The USDA decided exactly how much sodium, sugar, and fat
that a kid should allow.
Cafeteria item. And up until 2010,
if you play by the rules, you can just sit.
I mean, kids were
you can make any type of food, and you can make it look as ugly, as bad as possible. But if it suits their standards, it's allowed. You just gotta play by their rules. So that's where this bad part comes.
Eating airplane food for lunch. Clearly, the government wasn't monitoring things too closely. But as the years went by, the USDA started to notice that school children were getting, well, fatter.
Chunky.
According to the Department of Defense, more recruits were being turned away for obesity than any other reason. And between the years of 1980 and 2000,
which I will say, that's a problem.
Teenagers went from 5% to 18%.
Dude.
Maybe it's because kids have been eating food laced with seed oils and toxic chemicals for the past 30 years, but hey, that's just a theory. So the government came to the rescue again, and the USDA tightened its requirements. Now, instead of schools having to offer just one serving of fruits and vegetables at every meal, schools had to at least give students 2 fruit and vegetable servings to choose from. The students would be required to take at least one of them. And instead of serving white bread, schools had to serve bread that was at least 50% whole grain. And finally, snacks and entrees needed to be significantly lower in salt, sugar, and fat. Interestingly enough, nowhere in these historic changes did the USDA ever mention a word about reducing the amount of artificial ingredients in school lunches. But
blue dye, red dye, whoa!
A huge corporation whose business model entirely relies on food that's high in salt, sugar, and fat,
You fine, Alex?
not what you wanted to hear.
You have a stomach
Now
ache?
you needed
No?
Tired.
Alright, if you do, we have Pepto.
Or you
find a
can
way
just give him
around
pink
all these
sauce.
stupid school
Pink sauce, yeah, I'll do it.
before another food company takes your place. So, what did you do? You found a loophole, of course. According to the USDA, every school lunch meal needs to contain at least one serving of fruits and vegetables.
The creepiest sound
But
effect.
what if you're a company like Domino's and want to serve your pizza slices as a full meal? Pizza is one of the most profitable school lunches for big food. But one slice of pizza definitely doesn't contain a whole serving of fruits and vegetables, right? Or does it? Think about it like this.
Vegan
One
night.
slice of pizza has around 2 tablespoons of pizza sauce on it. And those 2 tablespoons of pizza sauce have been cooked down from a larger amount of tomatoes, right? So really, that little bit of pizza sauce is equal to 8 tablespoons of raw tomatoes, which equals 1 serving of vegetables under the USDA guidelines. And boom. Schwan Food Company's iconic rectangle pizza, or Domino's Smart Slice, are now officially USDA school lunch approved. And what about the low sodium thing? Hey, no problem. No need to reformulate or lower the actual amount of sodium. Just package your chips into smaller bags. That way each serving will technically have lower sodium because there's less chips. The food itself is still the same horrible concoction it was before. Just a little downsized, and perfect for tiny hands. And since you're technically following the rules, the USDA can't really say anything about it. Another change to the USDA's rules were that school meals have to have less starchy vegetables, also known as French fries, which means that your beloved crinkle-cut fries, your curly fries, your smiley face fries, they were all under attack. So, the potato and frozen food lobbies mobilized, orchestrating waves of letters from lawmakers to Tom Vilsack, the agriculture secretary, that extolled the potato's low cost and high potassium content. When Vilsack went before the Senate to discuss his budget request for the year, Senator Susan Collins of Maine, a state that is one of the country's largest producer of spuds, marched into the hearing holding a potato in one hand and a head of iceberg lettuce in the other.
My question, Mr. Secretary, is what does the department have against potatoes?
Potatoes. Oh, sorry, I have to play that again. That's a meme.
My question, Mr. Secretary, is what does the department have against potatoes?
Potatoes.
It's like potatoes.
Potatoes.
Are now officially a vegetable. And yes, that includes French fries.
Pizza! So close.
No way. No way. No way. That word. How is that word used in lunch? Oh, yes. I like to use the word carcinogen and lunch in the same.
What's carcinogen?
Carcinogenic chemicals cause cancer.
What?
Carcinogenic chemicals are extremely toxic due to their ability to cause cancer. If you see a chemical that says carcinogenic, not good. Stay away from it.
Just like lead.
Yeah, just like lead.
These are the worst school lunches in the United States of America, sent to us by our followers.
Today, school cafeteria food is in the most abysmal state it has ever been in, while masquerading as health. Take Domino's, for example. Domino's serves their Smart Slice pizza in over 13,000 schools across the U.S. And these Smart
I never knew
Slice
Domino's was
pizzas have
incorporated with
33%
school.
less fat and 50%
Finally,
less
I'm done
sodium
with
than the original
Lord.
version. So it must
My school ain't cool, bruh.
Not really. On the ingredients list,
My school, like, in terms of food, sucks.
Acetic oil, maltodextrin, a food additive that increases your likelihood of developing autoimmune disorders, including Crohn's disease, and sodium propionate, a preservative that has been shown to cause damage to the dopamine system in animal subjects. Ah, yes, we're sure the Domino's Smart Slice makes children very intelligent. Or take the snack food giant Frito-Lay. They've got a whole collection of smart snacks for schools. And these school-friendly products seem healthier, but in reality, they're pretty much just the same as the original grocery
With red
store
dye.
Interesting, but when we tested the study the first time, we saw this, and so we thought,
well, what if we put these two products side by side? Can they tell the difference? And even then, they had trouble telling.
Wow.
They were different products.
GMO corn and seed oils included. And these processed foods aren't being served as a once-in-a-while treat. Kids are getting fed these abominations every single school day.
2 bags of Ruffles, a pretzel, a Star, and a Gatorade.
And apparently, it's making them dumber. According to Roland Zulo, a researcher at the University of Michigan, found that
You know what? I will take that word if it's making kids dumber.
had lower test scores than schools who cooked food from scratch. But the biggest slap in the face is a newcomer on the school lunch block. Lunchables.
Man, I hated Lunchables.
I like the.
They were okay.
I like the.
They're like MREs, which
Yeah.
I had the pizza one with the sauce.
Bro, that one sucks.
Dude, I hated the pizza, but I ordered it so I could just eat the packets of sauce. I ate all the sauce.
The only reason I got the sandwich ones was just for the meat.
I love the Lunchables because I just like the sauce. I'm like a stereotypical lard, my guy.
And then I would only get it for the meat and candy it came with.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I will agree. We have my high school I went to. I can't say I go to because I say I have to went to because I'm graduate. We have to have 3 to 5 like trash cans. They will fill 3. I want to go there one day. I want to go back and I want to see how many trash cans they fill. They fill 3 to 6 trash cans, all of which are like 6. Hold on. Brute's garbage can. How much do these hold? 60 gallons? Oh god, that's... Alright, so this is a Brute trash can. So the Brute gray trash can holds 32 gallons of garbage. 32 gallons, right? Times 6, well, that's about, let's see, times 2, which is about 64. And times that by 3. And we get 64, 66, 120 plus 12, 112 gallons of crap, right? They had to have 6 of these containers, 112 gallons of capacity. They fill those things like at least like they used to fill like 3 to 5 garbage cans up out of the 6 they had. You wanna know how much my restaurant will produce in a single day? 2. Now we might get less. That actually is an eye-opener. As a restaurant, as a freaking restaurant, we get less garbage than a school cafeteria serving tons of people. Now maybe it's because there's a lot more people that come to the restaurant, or a lot more people that come to the school than the restaurant, but we get less trash as a restaurant. Is that not bad to people? Hell, if we make 2 garbage cans of waste, that is surprising. You know, I'm gonna do an experiment. I need to hire somebody. I'll pay you. I need you to come in here and count how many people eat our food and count my trash. I'm gonna do that for a week. I might be onto something.
Lunchables. Just about the most ultra-processed food you could feed a
Oh
child.
my god.
Available in your school lunch.
Oh god, I hated that.
Lunchables are so terrible that they have to design a special version to be accepted into the school lunch program. But it's still terrible all the same. So now, America's children choose 2 specially designed meals when they line up for lunch. Turkey and cheddar cracker stackers, Lunchables extra cheesy pizza. And yes, these special Lunchables do have slightly better macros than the ones in the grocery store. But you want to know what else they have? Glyphosate sprayed wheat. They also have nitrates, the type of food additive that has been associated with higher rates of breast and prostate cancer.
Oh god.
Phosphate, an emulsifier that has been linked to chronic kidney disease, and the list goes on. As the old adage says, you are what you eat. And if you let big food feed Your kids are gonna become exactly what big food wants them to be.
Turn the mute.
Sick, dumb, and addicted. But it's not just food that's toxic in America. Our water supply is also insanely toxic.
Flint.
And it's not just fluoride that we're talking about. Our tap water also contains
Flint, Michigan. Do you remember that?
No.
If you don't know, that's one of the most notorious accents ever. Flint, Michigan is a very, it's a disaster. They found that a lot of their water contained lead, and because of that, property value that was like $50,000 went down to $20,000. Nobody wants to live in Flint, Michigan anymore. It's been devastated by lead water.
Of chemicals that have been known to cause diseases like cancer, obesity, birth defects, and lowered IQ. And we're not just talking about tap water here. It's bottled water too. Actually, bottled water might even be worse. And in our next video, we are going to expose it all and go over what you can do about it. So make sure you subscribe.
Bottled water actually kind of
Square on the
sucks.
screen to sign up for our free newsletter to get breaking news about our food supply to protect yourself and the people you care about. Click the square on the screen to sign up now.
The greatest legacy.
Is it legal rises with Spotify?
Shut up, Yukon. Disturbing reality of tap water.
Painkillers, blood thinners, and chemotherapy drugs are just some of the substances that are found in your drinking water. There's new information that some drugs are ending up in our water at levels never seen before.
Most people don't think about where their water comes from. They just
Actually, I do. My water comes from my own yard. I'm so glad I have bragging rights to say we don't have a water bill. That is because my family uses a pond in order to fuel our water needs, which means that water comes from good old Mother Nature and it's self-filtered by us. No bull crap, nothing. We drink what we put in our water, not what other people put in our water.
So wait, that pond outside with fish in it?
Yeah. You've never known that?
No, I thought it.
There's two ways you get water in the country: well and pond.
Oh, I thought it was just like you got like state water, some different water. I've never known.
You see, there's a thing called a water table, and there's water like probably at least 100 feet below our ground right now. Now, if you drill down, your little tunnel will start flooding. Now, you can just take a pump and you pump water up. But wells are a little bit weak because they can dry up very easily. So that's why we have a pond.
Also probably ground.
We have hundreds of thousands of gallons of water at our disposal. We have never ran out in our pond. Even in our drought, like we're having a drought in our pond right now. Even though we don't conserve that much, we still have a ton of water to throw around.
What about the what's it called? The water jug thing.
That is the only water we import. There's only 2 times we import water. Our own drinking water, which we just recently started doing water. And we stopped doing this, but we used to order city water for our pools. Yeah. But we removed our pool. Yeah. I shoveled 12 tons of sand, by the way. That backhoe bucket, I filled it 12 times with sand. I drove it back and forth. I did it all with a shovel.
Fit to be there.
It's a public health crisis of massive proportions.
Toxic cocktail of chemicals in our tap water could lead to cancer.
PFAs, which are chemicals used in consumer products like firefighting foam and non-stick cookware, can be found in 610 locations across the country, and that includes drinking water for about 19 million people.
These chemicals could result in over 100,000 cancer cases over a lifetime, which is about 70 years.
Thousands of people in Parkersburg and along the entire Ohio River were contaminated.
They come and tested our water and they said, we'll send you a report in a couple of weeks or whatever. And they called us in a few days and they said, do not drink your water, don't use it for cooking, nothing.
How high were your levels when they told you about your water?
They're supposed to be under 40 parts per trillion. Now it's 26,000.
Oh my god.
lot of chemicals, when they go into your body or they end up in the environment, they break down, they slowly decompose. PFAS don't do that. Once you put PFAS somewhere, it's going to stay there practically forever. They are nearly indestructible.
So if you're drinking tap water, you might want to think twice because it's pretty toxic.
Just like how
On the surface, tap water sounds like this great thing. The government is giving us peasants cheap, practically free drinking water? How kind of them, right? But in reality, your tap water is slowly...
Not ours.
See, every time you drink a glass of
Not our like tap.
water, every time you take a shower, wash your hands, or rinse your mouth, you are ingesting a giant cocktail of highly toxic chemicals. Toxic chemicals such as PFAS, also known as forever chemicals that stay in your body forever.
They are found in every one of you.
Are linked to higher rates of cancer and birth defects.
I've got great news for you, and it's right under this macaroni and cheese. Now, glass ovenware comes with a Teflon finish. So now glass is not the cleanup problem it used to be.
Between 1951 and 2003, almost 800 tons of PFOA, that special type of forever chemical that also was found in my blood, were discharged by DuPont.
PFAS contaminate manufacturers like DuPont and 3M who have gotten us here today. So they've known for 70 years that they were poisoning the water, and they didn't tell the EPA, they didn't tell their neighbors.
He's making the frogs game.
They didn't tell anyone because they were making too much.
Alex Jonesing this stuff.
Knew in the 1960s, the Department of Defense knew in the 1970s, the EPA has known since at least the 90s, and they didn't treat the issue with the amount of urgency that it needed.
The EPA doesn't require utilities to regularly test for them, so there's really no way for the average American to know if it's even in their drinking water right now, or in their food. There has been no new drinking water standard in the United States since the 1990s. 30 years.
Drinking tap water also means that you're drinking every pharmaceutical drug known to man, like birth control. People urinate out the drugs they take into the wastewater that then gets treated and sent back to your faucets.
Some of the drug comes in us and through us and out of us totally unchanged. So we actually have active drugs going into the waterway through our
Yeah, that's actually true.
For several years, the U.S. Geological Survey has tested the water.
Basically, excrement and urine. It's basically like your body says, hey, we can't use this. This is not useful to us. So there, if there's a liquid in your body that you don't need, you pee it out. Simple. Now, when you pee or you discharge anything to water, it spreads. Water is a molecule that sticks to another molecule. Water molecules will stick together and it will spread. This is why everybody knows this, but you really want to be careful of when you use pesticides and insecticides on your roads, because that can cause problems.
Found that something in the water is tampering with the hormones of 85% of the male smallmouth bass and a quarter of the male largemouth bass, and causing them to develop female reproductive traits. Researchers suspect pharmaceuticals from human waste that the upstream water treatment plant can filter.
There's also heavy metals like lead, chlorine, pesticides, fluoride, microplastics.
You might think your tap water tastes terrible, but water we bathe and shower in could actually be more dangerous than the water that we drink.
Yeah, it's true. You see, when you drink water, our bodies filter some of the bad stuff out. That's not ideal because it's still in your system, but when we shower or bathe, our skin absorbs all the contaminants like chlorine and stuff 6 times faster than if we can drink. This is ordinary Tucson tap water. It's the same water. These are pool test drops that you test your backyard swimming pool. So if it turns yellow, there's chlorine in there.
Instantly.
Yep. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swish my fingers around in this one a little bit to simulate taking a bath or a shower. Drop the same number of drops in the same water.
I don't see anything. So you're telling me that in the 2 seconds you had your fingers in that water, where did it go?
Every bit of that chlorine was absorbed through my skin, and now it's going into my bloodstream.
In fact, this is what a reverse osmosis filter in an American home looks like after just 3 months of use. Needless to say, if you want to be a king, you shouldn't be drinking the water of peasants. But why? Why is American tap water this terrible? Welcome to Evil Food Supply, and this is how America poisoned our water.
This... Ah, God, Alex is sleeping. Yep, he's out. Apparently there's a stuff that is called C8, my coworker told me about, and when it gets in your system, it doesn't leave. It's toxic. It causes cancer, and some people have absorbed it in the past because of poisoning of water. The thing is that a really good, easy way to get rid of a pollutant is to just dump it in water, because water takes it away for you. You don't worry about it. But the problem is that when you dump a pollutant in water, it contaminates everything else, and it leads into a complete garbage clown show.
Bridgestone has made tires. Today, we're still tirelessly at work.
Tirelessly, get it?
Doing our part to help ensure that
After just 3 months of use. Needless to say, if you want to be a king, you shouldn't be drinking the water of peasants. But why? Why is American tap water this terrible? Welcome to Evil Food Supply, and this is how America poisoned our water.
As Mark Twain once said, you know, whiskey is for sipping and water is for fighting. And there's going to be a lot of fighting about this before it's done.
Poison the water supply.
The wealthiest individuals do not consume the same water as the general public, so it is recommended that you opt for high-quality water as well. Similarly, they also invest differently from the masses. They don't just invest in public markets. That's for the commoners. By 131% according to Citi. And according to Deloitte, the global value of art is expected to... by clicking the link in the description. In the late 1800s, Americans started laying down the pipes for their tap water infrastructure. And what material did they build these water pipes out of?
Lead.
Why, they chose the most durable, malleable, abundant metal they could find.
Lead!
See, back then, they didn't know lead was all that bad. They just wanted to build some awesome pipes. And so, America's tap water was being delivered straight to your faucet via toxic lead pipes. And as the decades
In 1984, new houses are banned from using lead piping. If you have a house with piping and it was made before 1984, it's okay. But since now it is banned from using them, and now we replace it with polyvinyl chloride.
Scientists began to realize that exposure to lead, even in very small amounts, could lead to things like blindness and anemia.
Reproductive harm.
Damage had already been done.
Lead causes reproductive harm and lower sex cell production, and it also removes the oxygen from your cells. And I don't know about you, but the thing is, oxygen is required for what's known as cellular respiration, which is literally the key for making energy in the entire world. Like, you can't make energy in your body without oxygen. And when you have a chemical that removes oxygen from your cells, very bad stuff starts to happen. Lead poisoning is a very serious condition. The only good thing one of the only good things lead is good for is it actually is very dense and protects against radiation.
America had been drinking lead-tainted water for decades at this point. By the 1920s, multiple states banned the installation of lead pipes. But the problem was, what about all the lead pipes that were already installed? You can't just tear out all the lead pipes across the nation. It would be a near impossible feat, not to mention very expensive. So local governments took a shortcut. They added an anti-corrosion chemical directly into the water supply to counteract the runoff from the lead pipes. So when the water runs through the lead pipes, this anti-corrosion chemical sticks to the lead pipes and forms a protective barrier between the pipes and the tap water. This seemed like a genius quick fix at the time, but it definitely wasn't foolproof. Random vibrations.
By the way, a little bit of a spoiler alert. When you have chemicals that are supposed to work more effectively, usually those type of chemicals can be toxic. For example, some chemicals, if you have a chemical working at a task and you have another chemical that works better, that one's probably a little bit more toxic. And yeah.
Round can cause this protective layer to chip away, exposing your tap water to high amounts of lead. One man in Chicago tested his tap water while construction was going on outside his house, and he found that it was infected with lead at 455,000.
Holy crap.
The EPA considers 15 ppb to be dangerous. But if water crisis?
How about driving?
In the 2010s, the mayor of Flint, Michigan, decided to switch the city's water supply from the Detroit River to the cheaper Flint River to save money. But the problem was, the Flint River water was dirtier than the Detroit River water. So the mayor decided that the best solution was just add in more cleansing agents to clean it. What he didn't know was that these extra chemicals made the water more acidic. And this acidic water stripped that anti-corrosion layer inside the lead pipes. And so, lead from those aging pipes started leaking into the water supply. And soon, the entire city of Flint, Michigan had brown, dirty, smelly, lead-filled water coming out of their faucets.
Wanna have kids?
You put this phone on Reese's lamp in this room. You take 13 steps behind you down the hallway, 2 steps, and then 5 steps to his lamp.
I know what his lamp is.
At a 60-degree angle. It might be more steps based on how long your steps are.
Oh, guys. No, they even can't.
Today, there are between 9.7 and 12.8 million lead water pipes still in operation, serving 22 million Americans. Lead water pipes that at any random moment can absolutely destroy your health, especially for kids. Lead exposure can cause speech and language problems, developmental delays, decreased bone and muscle growth, poor muscle coordination, damage to the nervous system, kidneys, and or hearing, seizures, and even unconsciousness in cases of extremely high lead levels. But lead is just one of the ingredients in your glass of American tap water. We already covered how fluoride was introduced into our water supply in this video that you can watch by clicking the card on the top right corner. So what we need next is a little sprinkle of forever chemicals.
He should make one based on SeaWorld if he hasn't already.
What?
He should make a video on SeaWorld if he hasn't already.
Oh yeah, SeaWorld's in the SeaWorld, yeah, they are a whole rabbit hole of awful.
Have you heard about the trainer that got eaten or tore apart from her hair?
Oh yeah, it ripped her hair out.
Yeah, and then it was like an hour until the owner paid her back or her remained.
But what we did have was waterborne bacteria. And this type of bacteria could kill someone in an instant. And to remedy this bacteria issue, counties all over America started dumping chlorine into their tap water.
What year did that guy put stuff in Flint, Michigan?
I don't know.
They just accepted it. Drinking a tiny bit of bleach was better than dying from mutant bacteria. So everyone shut their mouths and started drinking bleach along with the lead. But then, in 1938, everything changed when a scientist accidentally discovered Teflon, a synthetic chemical that made everything non-stick, waterproof, and slippery. It was a miracle chemical, and DuPont started putting it in everything, from non-stick pans to pizza boxes. And so, the American chemical boom began. It was a magical time when companies like DuPont and 3M thought all the world's problems could be solved with chemistry.
Nearly everything in our daily lives is improved by chemistry.
So, chemical factories
Riz, did you 3D print this?
No.
America. These small towns
Where'd you get it from?
the jobs, and they were
It was an Italian company. They cost around like 800 a piece.
Yes.
That one was manufactured, and that one my dad bought it for his museum, but we're not using it right now, so he just lent it to me. Those are actually found at the City Museum.
Huh.
They have like 8 of them at the City Museum, probably like 9 or so.
For an exciting, cutting-edge company that was producing chemicals for a better living. But little did these towns know that in order to make things like Teflon, DuPont had to produce a chemical so strong, so durable, that it's basically indestructible.
It's like 9
indestructible class of
Well,
chemicals
he's probably
called
leaving work.
PFAS. Specifically, PFOA and PTFE. These PFAS chemicals are so indestructible that they would later be nicknamed Forever.
Your mom didn't know you liked
because
these.
they do not break down in nature.
Oh, they're melted, kinda.
These factories
melted.
create a lot of
Open
toxic
them.
forever chemicals
I'm not gonna open them right now.
Put it in the fridge.
No.
Somewhere, right? And in the
What is this?
these
It's Nerfball.
did pretty much what
Do you not
every
see
other
them before
American
he
factory
does?
tends to do.
It's obvious.
If I was still as hungry as I was before Casey's, I think I would have ate this. I'm not gonna lie. It
Well,
looks mad.
it looks like a popcorn bowl.
Yeah.
Let me win.
I may not be building a whole lot. I may not have been making a whole lot of buildings lately, but if I can get the roads built, then basically I will know where to put the buildings.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
Oh.
A lot of toxic forever chemical waste. Forever chemical waste that would need to be disposed of somewhere, right? And in the beginning, these chemical makers did pretty much what every other American factory tends to do. They burned the waste.
I didn't know you had a
right
bunch
to
of
the air
quarters,
or
Riz.
dumped it straight into the ground.
But
Either
what is
way,
this
these
nickel
forever
doing
chemicals
in with
would
all
end
of
up
your
contaminating
quarters?
the groundwater. And as the years went on, the people who lived in these small towns with newly infected tap water would develop things like cancer and hormonal disorders. John Hickey, a man who lived in Hoosick Falls, developed kidney cancer at the age of 60, even though none of his genetic line had it. And PFAS chemicals, which include PFOA and PTFE, have been linked to kidney cancer specifically. He eventually found out that his tap water contained extremely high levels of PFOA. It had been drinking it for decades. Toxic chemicals linked to serious diseases like cancer, liver damage, and thyroid disease. And guess what? They never, ever, ever degrade. This woman from North Carolina lost her baby from drinking PFOA-rich tap water during her pregnancy.
Did it ever occur to you that that water might be contaminated?
It would
There's a hole.
Yes.
They just pooped it out.
My daughter for at least a year. I was happy. It was fine. Everything was fine. And suddenly, she becomes 4 years old and she's slightly disabled. Why? Because she had a shortness of oxygen in her brain.
So it happens when you.
It's caused by that chemical.
That or cigarettes.
Maybe not. Is she dying? No. Will she get cancer? Who knows? I don't know.
Today, forever chemicals
Why
have
is it
affected
coming out?
practically all of our water supply, with nearly all Americans, including newborn babies, carrying PFAS in their bloodstream. But if you thought forever chemicals were the end of it, oh, you're
I'm not gonna win.
sadly
I'm
mistaken.
not gonna win. Thanks. I haven't got a single one out of 6, and I'm probably gonna lose.
Here's the other thing you have to understand about our tap water system. It's that a lot of that tap water that comes out of your faucet comes from recycled toilet water.
Yup.
Yes, that's right. Whatever you excrete out into your toilet gets flushed down the drain into a water treatment facility and back into your tap water.
Not for me though.
Fine and dandy if these water treatment facilities could actually
How we country folks do it, we have a septic tank that stores all the bad stuff. And then it gets pumped out every like few years.
single random chemical out there, which is a problem because Americans take a
Let's see what this dollar bill is.
60% of Americans over
B1.
the age of 18
Top
take
left
at least one
quadrant.
pharmaceutical drug. And antibiotic use has skyrocketed to 270 million prescriptions per year. Birth control pills, narcotics, antibiotics, Prozac, all these substances that contain a whole cocktail of chemical compounds, hormones, and other things that alter our bodies are all getting excreted straight into your tap water.
The other worrisome thing about tap water is most of the filtration systems used in municipalities do not get rid of antibiotics in water, and I can guarantee you that they are in almost all of our commercial water systems.
The effects of drinking this random mix
Come on, one more.
is
One
pretty
more.
terrifying.
Alex,
Scientists
please.
have done studies on fish who swim in this drug-filled
Oh.
water, and they found that male
No.
fish show signs of feminization and some were even being born introduced. The scientists also found
What?
residues of antidepressant.
Win. Yes, it is. Come on, just take your time.
I can't. There's 6 left.
Oh my god.
Go for that one. Go for that one.
This one. Push it. How do you push? What?
Keep going, just take your time. You have to go up the stairs, I think.
I tried that.
Oh!
No!
Yeah.
Get me up.
Why wouldn't you go to the other one?
This one's...
What the?
There you go. I dropped the ball down.
Our commercial water system.
Hey, watch them struggle with 2 out of 6.
Is pretty terrifying. Scientists have done studies on fish who swim in this drug-filled sewage water, and they found that the male fish were showing signs of feminization, and some were even being born
Oh
intersex.
my god.
Dude, what FPS are you playing on?
What?
There's something happening to the rainbow darter, a tiny fish that lives in the rivers of southern Ontario. If they're downstream from a sewage treatment plant, the male fish turn into females. What's causing the males to develop eggs? Human hormones, residue from prescription drugs that are flushing into the river.
If you expose them to wastewater, they will feminize. They will have eggs in the testes.
But it's not just fish. Philadelphia tap water contains 56 different pharmaceutical drugs. Southern California water has high amounts of both anti-epileptic.
That is possible. Like, you can actually feminize, like a male can feminize if they take a certain steroid. Where breast tissue, I actually learned about this in school, where breast tissue can actually begin to form if you take a certain steroid, which is not.
I went to the fair yesterday.
You told me.
Wait, is it still open?
Yeah. But it was really fun. We went on this gravity one, and these kids were trying to be funny. They were yelling, "Mom!" Like, "Mommy, save!" Like, they were like screaming. And then at the top of my lungs, I just screamed, "Help! Help me! Mom!" And everyone went completely silent.
Anti-anxiety medication. Whatever medications your neighbors are taking, you are too. And you might be thinking, well, okay, I'll just stick to bottled water then. Bottled water
This is a new thing, creative mode.
Well, think again.
Reese, where'd you get this?
Why?
I'm just wondering. I want one.
You can have it.
What is it?
Well, what is it? Where'd you get it? I'm curious.
It's part of the box. It came with the mic.
Oh.
Hey, I'll keep that just in case you need to return it.
I don't need it. I don't need to return it.
I was gonna say the word. Oh wait,
you will find words like pure, purified, life. But these bottled waters are far from pure, and they are definitely not giving you life. See, whenever you see
can I see how many quarters I can stack on top of each other?
Do you clean up the mess?
Why? Do you want to play?
Whatever. You know what?
Come on, let's see. Ready? 1.
Right.
Are these ones organized?
Number 1. I got number 1. Alex,
Okay.
I got number 1.
Please stop screaming. Please stop screaming. Don't mix these quarters.
2.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of a good game. You guys can take turns. Take turns second quarters. Whoever
gets the most.
Whoever quarters drops loses, and then a person gains a point. That'd be kind of cool. Or like put on the same tower.
Actually, no. Let's do 2 different towers.
Once you get past like.
Oh, it's kind of like Jenga.
Once you get past like $15 is when it starts to kind of get difficult.
I will do that after this round. This is the final round.
Like after 45 quarters is kind of when it starts to get crazy.
10, 11.
1,000% more for.
12.
In a recent study, it was found that 1/3 of American bottled water brands contain chemical contaminants that exceed recommended levels. And apparently, as long as these bottled water companies don't go over the maximum levels of contaminants listed by the
I'm already
EPA,
choking.
water can be sold. That's right. These companies are literally just filling up plastic bottles with tap water and reselling it to you for 3,000% the price. And if there's a sprinkle of PFAS or pharmaceuticals, that's just fine. As long as it's technically under the limit.
21.
Even spring water bottles aren't safe.
22.
Companies like Starkey Spring Water contain
You
3
hear
times
it?
more arsenic than other brands.
23.
Take your, you wanna know how I stack quarters? Is that, like, for example, every once in a while, like quarters, you could put, like, if you're, like, stacked kind of, like, everywhere like this, Alex, what I do is, like, very carefully, I take my fingers, I go like this. You straighten it out.
Oh, shoot.
See, I told you, past $10, kind of around there, past, like, 40, that's when it starts to get hard.
27.
Poland Spring contains PFAS. And what about luxury water brands like Evian that comes from the French Alps, or Fiji water from the rainforest of Fiji, slowly filtered by volcanic rock? These waters are famous for being the purest of the pure. And for the most part, water itself is not half bad. But these brands are sold in plastic bottles. Plastic bottles that are repeatedly heated and cooled during the manufacturing and shipping process. These plastic bottles also leak a pesky little chemical called phthalates into your water. And phthalates are known to block the production of androgen, the male hormone that produces testosterone. Plastic bottles also used to contain BPA, a chemical in plastic that has an almost identical structure to human hormones. And BPA has been in our plastic bottles for decades. But in 2008, scientists found out that it is extremely toxic, even in low doses, and can lead to things like severe birth defects, abnormally sized genitalia, and infertility. And when the bottled water companies found out about this, they immediately switched over to a different chemical called BPS. A seemingly noble move, until studies showed that BPS is pretty much the same as BPA.
It's still possible to get a BPA bottle. Most of them have been replaced with BPS bottles, but now the evidence is that BPS acts exactly like
it's getting shaky.
So my opinion is try not to drink bottled water that comes in a plastic container.
Yes, they did the old switcheroo that major corporations love to do when their chemicals get called out. But now they get to slap a BPA free on their labels so everyone trusts them again. When in reality, they simply replace BPA with another kind of the same chemical.
Tastes like beer, lemonade.
I can't drink beer!
Flavor them up.
Beer tastes like lemonade.
It's all about the money.
It's not
So
about
if
the
American tap water is so bad, why doesn't the government do anything about it? Simple. There's no incentive to. Think about it. What's a more pressing issue that will get votes? Invisible chemicals in the water that you can't see, smell, or taste that aren't going to materialize in diseases until decades later? Or the latest war or social program? But it's not just the government that doesn't have an incentive to clean up the water supply. The small water utilities across the U.S. also do everything they can to avoid filtering chemicals. Because filtering these complex industrial chemicals is super expensive. And tap water is a business. So if the water utilities decide to only test water from a certain area of town that is less toxic, or only report samples that show low toxicity,
73.
they're going to
Ready?
be inclined to do it. Because the last thing they want is
I won.
because their water was proven to be dirty. A recent report even showed that
dude,
33 cities,
You can have
including Chicago,
or
Boston, and
for the value.
Philadelphia, purposely manipulated their data to save money. Water utility
76.
Like, okay, like not a singular column. How tall can you make an entire tower?
4, go 4.
Alright, ready? Switch. After everyone switch. We'll flip a coin. It only seems fitting we flip a coin to see who goes first.
Now let's make our own.
We've been saturating ourselves with toxic
Alright,
tap
ready?
water for over a
Heads, you go
century.
first. Tails, I go first. Alright, it's tails. I go first. Alrighty?
Fish
We'll
that were
start
exposed to
here.
pharmaceutical drugs didn't show traits of feminization until a few generations down the line.
And you can't.
So this
You can
means
try to make it
chemicals
harder
we're
for the
taking
next person.
today could alter the hormones of your future grandchildren. We've all heard the number that water makes up
You already
half
failed.
of our bodies. Water is the essence of life. It's the foundation
And you
of your
can't try
vitality.
to make it
So
straight.
you need to be taking it seriously. And you should not, for the life of you, be drinking or bathing
Oh.
in tap water.
We are not going to pretend that we have
Okay, I'm
all
gonna
the
make my own
answers.
thing.
We're still learning about this ourselves. But here's what we do. We only drink natural spring water that comes in glass bottles, like San Pellegrino and Laricia from Italy, or Mountain Valley from Oklahoma. We just get boxes of these shipped to our place every few weeks. Sure, it's a little more expensive, but you're a lot less likely to be drinking birth control. We have no affiliation with these brands, but these brands should definitely sponsor us if you're watching. And as for
Yeah.
tap water, right.
I may not have been building a whole lot of buildings lately, but at least now that I'm making plots to put said buildings on, now I will, what's it called? I am gonna know where I can build buildings. Now when I build roads like this, like I did this in another country, I'm gonna be able to visualize what I can do. And maybe, hopefully, I can start putting buildings up pretty fast.
Shower in, that's a little trickier. Right now, we're testing out this shower filter that reduces chloramine, chlorine, fluoride, iron, lead, heavy metals, bacteria, and more from your shower water. And so far, it's definitely better than regular tap water. And if you want a cheat sheet with all of our water recommendations listed out, along with what to avoid, scroll down and click the link below to sign up for our Evil Food Insiders newsletter. And you'll get all of this sent straight to your inbox. By signing up for this newsletter, you'll also get alerts on breaking news about our food supply as they happen, so that you can protect yourself and the people you care about. And next up on Evil Food Supply, we're going to expose the dark underbelly of the U.S. beef industry, and how just 4 companies monopolize the entire industry. Click the circle on the screen to subscribe so you don't miss it, and then click the square on the screen to sign up for the newsletter now.
Would you be interested in collecting 5-figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time from home?
Oh, nice, you're a guru. I hope I don't get scammed. Hey, wait, why is all my money going? Plant-based meat is literally a scam. Not surprised. Oh my god.
Pretty good.
It's very tender, juicy.
I've never had plant taste like beef before. It tastes like a beef burger.
The flavor on this is outstanding.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants. No beef.
No beef. Made from plants.
Plant-based meat storms our grocery store shelves. Now restaurants are featuring everything from Impossible Burgers to Beyond Sausage breakfast sandwiches on their menus. But is plant-based meat really healthier for you?
Impossible Burger and companies like that, they use a lot of novel proteins
proteins. In other words, things in their meat that we really can't even fully understand.
Biochemistry, it's molecular biology, it's genomics, genetics.
Why are these companies going out of their way to make a non-meat product look, taste, and smell exactly like meat?
We could save our planet.
Because they'll sell it.
Plant-based meat is literally a scam. They say it's about having empathy for animals.
You know what the animals would say to you if they could speak? Kelly!
Where'd my tooth go?
They say it's for the environment.
Climate change is exploiting the world's land at an unprecedented rate.
Eating more plant-based foods and sustainably produced meats can change land use and mitigate climate change.
They say it's energy, when in reality, it's all about money. Plant-based meat companies have hijacked our compassion to sell us imitation meat that is made out of a bunch of cheap industrial chemicals and ingredients. Soy protein made from soybeans bathed in a solvent called hexane, a known human neurotoxin. Red number 3, food dye that's a carcinogen that's banned in cosmetics. Caramel coloring, a dye that causes cancer in rats. Tertiary butyl hydroquinone, sodium tripolyphosphate. Yum! These are just some of the ingredients found in plant-based meat. Ingredients that are absolutely terrible for you and are way cheaper than growing grass-fed cows, which we've been eating for hundreds of thousands of years.
So what is happening is that they're turning the original notions we had about food upside down. What was cherished the most in the past by the previous generations were the nutrient-dense foods, and that, of course, included meat. And suddenly those products have become the ones that we should avoid, which is extremely surprising.
These are confusing times, which is just about the right time to have the Burger King Impossible Whopper. A Whopper made without beef that tastes just like a Whopper.
And yet, society keeps pushing it.
There's a simple but significant way to help protect the planet and all its inhabitants. And it starts with just one day a week. One day without eating animal products.
Governments keep pushing it, and we all fell for it. This is the great plant-based meat lie.
Well, those Impossible Burgers, we showed a study the other day that was showing that it's toxic for rats. They fed rats the Impossible Burger, and the rats were getting sick.
Apparently, a lot of these vegan meats we've all been scoffing down because they're plant-based from the plant range are actually highly synthetic processed food.
Every food is like that these days.
Plant-based meat is actually a food manufacturer's dream. Why? Well, think about it. Raising a natural grass-fed cow takes a ton of time, money, and resources. You need to feed them quality hay and grass. You need to take care of them for up to 2 years. And this all costs money. Over $2,000 per cow. That is why grass-fed beef costs food manufacturers $7.63 per pound. Pretty expensive. Now, compare this to the plant-based meat, which is made from America's cheapest, most subsidized crop, soybeans. Right now, soybean meal costs American food manufacturers a measly 25 cents per pound, compared to $7.63 for beef. That's 30 times cheaper than real meat. Which means
we could sell all that to China. China's the biggest buyer of soybeans in the world. We could be exploiting that.
You could charge the same price as real beef while making way more profit. All you need is some genius marketing, some colorful labels, a little dash of guilt, and you will be golden. And that's exactly what happened. Right now, grass-fed ground beef at the grocery store costs $7.99 to $10.49 per pound. While Impossible Foods' fake ground beef, this cheap soy frankenmeat costs around the same at $9.32 per pound. But here's the thing. Soybean meal by itself tastes horrible. If you want to make it taste like a real, delicious, juicy burger, you're gonna need a ton of chemicals, artificial ingredients, and some good old big food engineering.
Plants that kill.
Throw this puppy on the grill. This is the Impossible Burger, a plant-based meat alternative made from the best, most natural ingredients America has to offer.
Chemicals!
Here, what we have in front of me is all of those natural plant ingredients.
Yeah. And honestly, the Impossible Burger doesn't taste half bad.
The consistency of the Impossible Burger is so meat-like.
It's shocking. It's literally shocking. It grills like a burger. It bleeds like a burger. But how does it do that? Well, the chemical in real beef that makes it taste super delicious is called heme. Heme is a chemical found in cow's blood. So if you want your plant-based meat to taste like the real thing, you're gonna need to find a plant-based heme alternative. So you slapped on a lab coat and started experimenting. You wanted to find a way to extract the chemical heme from soybeans. And at first, you experimented on natural, non-GMO soybeans. But the taste just wasn't cutting it. Plus, in order to make a tiny bit of heme, you needed a whole truckload of these natural soybeans. Which would
Nope,
be
I don't have work until Tuesday.
ruin the whole point of this scheme. So you switched gears and started to experiment with genetically modified soy. And guess what? It actually worked. You literally created blood from soybeans.
Burger is a plant-based burger. The key ingredient, which a protein called soy leg hemoglobin.
What the hell?
The thing about genetically modified soy is that it's sprayed with a ton of herbicides, specifically Monsanto's Roundup. And this
Roundup is awful.
called glyphosate, which has
Yeah, we
been
could, maybe.
vital organ damage in animals, as well as cancer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in humans. And as it turns out, glyphosate gets absorbed right into the flesh of the soybeans that it's sprayed on. So it's not surprising that a ton of glyphosate has been found in Impossible Burgers, along with hexane, a known neurotoxin. But did this little glyphosate mishap stop you from releasing your burger to the public? No! You submitted a 1,066-page report on your soy leg hemoglobin creation to the FDA. And the FDA simply responded with no further questions.
What should scare the out of you about the Impossible Burger is all of the regulations that surround meat, none of them surround that.
The other thing with Impossible Burgers, so the primary ingredient is called soy leg hemoglobin, or SLH. So this is a bioengineered protein additive that adds meat-like taste and color. It does not meet the basic FDA generally recognized as safe, the GRAS designation, because it's not a food or even a food ingredient. And there's a document that you can get. I think it came with the Freedom of Information Act. In the discussion in this document with the FDA, Impossible Foods admitted that up to a quarter of its heme ingredient was composed of 46 unexpected additional proteins, some of which are unidentified and none of which were assessed for safety in the dossier. Impossible Burger put the product on the market despite admitting to the FDA privately that they haven't done adequate safety testing. And according to these documents, quote, FDA believes that the arguments presented individually and collectively do not establish the safety of SLH, soy leg hemoglobin, for consumption, nor do they point to a general recognition of safety.
So they don't know what it does.
Which is why every bite you take in an Impossible Burger is potentially laced with toxic herbicides. But wait, there's more. Heme isn't the only thing you need to make a pathetic pile of soybean meal look and taste like real meat. You also need a ton of dyes, artificial flavorings, and bulking agents.
The secret sauce.
That one tastes like a damn burger.
It tastes like a burger.
That is a lot better than I thought it would be.
It tastes like a beef burger.
I'm so
Yummy.
This can't not be me. This is impossible. One of the ingredients in Impossible Burgers is ferric phosphate, an ingredient that's promoted as an iron supplement, but is also the active ingredient in slug pesticide. And what about caramel coloring? Another ingredient fake meat companies use. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, this is a food dye that has been proven to cause cancer in mice. And tertiary butyl hydroquinone, yet another ingredient fake meat companies use. A common food additive that has been shown to cause liver enlargement and paralysis. But who cares about these dumb medical studies? All you care about is whether or not your genetically modified soy mash tastes like real beef. But there's still one crucial thing missing that makes a burger. That satisfying sizzle. And where does that sizzle come from in real meat? Natural animal fat. We can't use that here. So what do? You dump in a ton of seed oils. Sunflower oil, canola oil, corn oil. You don't discriminate. And guess what? Just like soybeans, these seed oils are crazy cheap. And they're plant-based. Score! And the great thing is that the masses still think vegetable oils are healthy, when in reality, they are also absolutely horrible for you and have been linked to heart disease, liver damage, and cancer. But cheap ingredients aren't the only great thing about this business. This industry also has the full faith and backing of all the Western world's governments.
What are these? The sausages or the vegan ones?
Not only is fake meat a food manufacturer's dream come true, it's also the government's. Think about it. Your job as the government is to keep the masses fed and happy, or else they're gonna riot. But the problem is, natural animal products like beef, eggs, and milk are unstable. When the economy drops, animal products are the first to go up in price because of how expensive they are to produce. Eggs are going up in price as we speak, but soybeans? Soybeans are America's most abundant crop. They are super cheap to produce.
That's not wrong.
Pretty much never run out, and they last way longer than real meat. So, of course the government pushes plant-based meat. And to make sure the masses accept these cheaper options, the government will do whatever they can to make sure this plant slop is as sexy and fun as possible. And hey, if the colorful packaging will convince you, maybe Bill Gates will?
If I stop eating burgers, which you point out are a big carbon culprit, will that really make a difference?
Well, if anyone's going to be scratching their head to solve the problem, I think humanity is grateful Bill Gates is the one doing it.
Or maybe your favorite celebrity.
Beyond meat. Now I've been hit with a truth or dare. Truth. Take a bite and blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Damn! They can even pour money into documentaries that will really get people feeling guilty about meat. Or maybe Meatless Mondays, a national school campaign that promotes plant-based meat directly to children. So, as you can see, the entire fake meat industry is based on one thing: propaganda. And you want to know what else is entirely based on propaganda? Breakfast. We've been told our entire lives that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But in reality, that whole concept was completely fabricated to sell you lucrative breakfasts. And it was all concocted by one man. A man by the name of Edward Bernays, also known as the father of propaganda. Bernays was hired to sell the masses on the importance of breakfast. And we are going to expose it all in our next video. So make sure you subscribe. In the meantime, watch our recent video on the evil history of fluoride and why this toxic chemical is in your water supply, your toothpaste, and everywhere else. Click the card on the screen to watch now.
I'm gonna take a shower.